Hi everyone. So I wanted to share another video with you on the topic of how to overcome depression from a spiritual perspective. And for those who haven't seen the previous videos, I decided to do this series because of the fact that I realized that depression is so common, from my own struggle with it in the past, as well as from talking to other persons and realizing just how many people are struggling with it and uh, who are afraid and ashamed to talk about the topic. And I wanted to share some spiritual strategies that the Lord has given me uh, for being able to go through life's difficulties that will come, whichever way we take it, and being able to go through those issues without getting depressed or discouraged by them. So today's topic I want to talk about is encouraging each other in the Lord. There are several verses that I want to share with you. The first one is from Proverbs 27, verse 17, and it says that iron sharpens iron, so a man sharpens the countenance of his friend. The other one is from Ecclesiastes 4, 9 to 12, and it basically talks about the fact that two are better than one, because when one falls down, the other can lift him up. And then the two have a better reward for their work. And I like this third verse in Second Corinthians a lot. It's in Second Corinthians chapter 1 verses 3 to 5. And it says about the fact that God comforts us in our sorrows so that we may be able to comfort others with the same comfort wherewith we ourselves are comforted of God. So God in our troubles, he comforts us so that we can be able to do the same to others who may be going through the same experiences. And that's what I want to be able to do for those of you who may be struggling with this topic. I think it's important for persons who may be going through any type of difficulty that they find it hard to manage on their own, to pray and ask the Lord to direct them to a spiritual person who would be able to be of help to them in that situation, whether it may be in having that person as a prayer partner or just somebody who you can meet up with and talk with about the issues that you're going through. um, for the ladies to find another female friend, or for the males to find a male friend, and as brothers and sisters, to be able to encourage each other. I There's an experience that I had in which um, the situation to me seemed so impossible. I, of my own self, would not have been able to find the money to do what I needed to do for that situation. And I was talking to a friend of mine one day, and they were in a similar situation, and they needed the amount of money that they needed was that much greater than that which I needed. But when I spoke with them, they were like, you know, we sat down and we did a budget last night, and we just realized that the amount of money that we're gonna need for this thing is absolutely ridiculous. And they shared with me the figure, and the person said, I'm just so excited. I am excited. I just got up this morning and I did this amazing worship. I'm just absolutely excited because I know I won't be able to do it of my own, so I'm just excited to see what God will do. And it gave me a whole new perspective on my own situation, because I was there worrying. I was like, okay, well, I know I won't be able to make this work. I don't know how it's going to work. I know if it happens that it's going to take a miracle from God, but I was a little bit worried, to be honest. And when they shared their own experience, I was like, wow. The fact that they were so excited just to see how God would work that miracle in their life to make it possible. It inspired excitement in me too for my own situation. I was like, okay, God, I'm excited to see how you're going to work in my situation too. So it was good that God saw that we were going through that similar circumstance, and that we would have been able to relate to each other, and he used that person to encourage me in that time to have faith in him that he could work it out. There's a story in Exodus chapter 17 about Moses, And when Amalek went to fight against the children of Israel, Moses sent out for the strongest men in Israel to go fight against him. And he went up on a hill with a rod in his hand. And every time that he held up the rod, which signified him connecting himself with the omnipotent power of God, every time he held up the rod to the sky, the Israelites won. Every time his hand got tired and he brought it back down, Amalek won. So Aaron and her in that moment realized that he was getting tired, like his arm was getting weak. So they went one on each side of him and they held up his arm in that moment. And I like that story because it talks about the fact that, we're there to encourage each other in the Lord. We're there to support each other. We are literally fighting a spiritual battle, and the only way that we be able to win that battle is one, if we remain constantly connected with God, and two, also if we work together in that battle to support each other, because an army that is divided against itself cannot win any battle. I also think of the story of Ruth and Naomi and the fact that they too had been through similar circumstances. Both of them had lost their husbands, and they both decided to support each other in that moment, to be that encouragement to each other that they needed in that time of difficulty. And in turn God blessed them so much for their faithfulness to each other, for their loyalty and their to each other and their support of each other in that time. So that's my encouragement for you all today, is that if you don't already have a prayer partner or somebody who you can turn to in those times of difficulties, that you pray first and ask the Lord to direct you to somebody who can be of encouragement to you. Ask God to show you who that right person is, because you don't want to go to any person, even if you think that person on the outside looks like a very spiritual person. They may be prone to, that may not be really what's on the inside, and that person may actually lead you away from what God's will is for your life. So just pray and ask God to lead you to the right person who would be able to give you those right words of spiritual encouragement in those times of need. So yeah, that's basically it. Hope you guys have a great day.